Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I'm your boy Tony from Cali, and today's date is the 21st of December, okay? The 21st of December, 2020, okay? I was going to shoot this yesterday, which would have been 2020, you know, and that would have been really a lot better, but today is a foggy day, so we wanted to kind of show how foggy it is. As you can see in my background, it's extreme fog, okay? I can actually see droplets actually coming down right now of mist. It looks like mist. I can see it coming above my camera right now. So we want to take you guys back to memory lane a little bit. This is we're going to go back to 1981. We're in 2020 right now, but we're going to go back to 1981. That's the year that I graduated from Grant Union High School. I did graduate from that school at that time, 1981, and that was the year that I actually started getting these video cameras. This camera is from also 1981. It's an RCA color video camera, and it's a what do they call it? I think it's called it's a tube camera, okay? It's a tube camera. I don't know if it's a Satacon tube or a Vidicon. I think it's a Vidicon tube camera, okay? So the reason I'm looking over here is because I do have a second camera. We're using another camcorder to record all this information. And what we've done is we've taken this camera from 1981 and we've upgraded it to HD, okay? High definition, that's what that stands for. High definition, not 4K. We can go 4K on this, but we just want to use HD right now. So we're going to be streaming this out probably in 1080p or 720p. Most likely 720p, because that's all you need to stream nowadays is a lower resolution. You don't need a real high resolution to get a pretty decent picture. So we're going to probably be streaming out in 720p. I'm your boy Tony from Cali. As you can see, boom, you see me pretty good. This is the baby right here. And once again, we're doing the broadcast live here on this beautiful morning. We're looking at about 36 degrees this morning. I was told. I just checked with the manager over here at the apartment complex. It's about between 36, 38 degrees, and it's pretty cold out here. Pretty cold out here this morning. Very, very foggy, and that's what we want to kind of show is the fog intense. I'm going to back up a little bit, so I'm going to be out of the frame of the other camera, but you can see how far I am exactly. And matter of fact, I'm going to walk out of the view here and reposition my other camera, so just bear with me. Okay. Being a one-man band and trying to do everything, you know, sometimes it can be kind of tricky. So you can see that I'm out here and feeling pretty good. I think I'm out of the other camera shot, and that's okay. But I just want to basically show that, hey, it is a very foggy morning. As you can see, fog behind us, extreme fog, and hey, that's what's happening. So your boy Tony from Cali. Once again, I'm just enjoying myself out here today. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to be going back in a little bit. But I do want to talk to you about a little bit about what's going on. We are going to be going back once again memory lane. We're going to be what's the word? Well, you know what? Let me reposition my camera again here for a second. I got to make sure that you guys can see that we are broadcasting. Let me make this a little further back here. Just bear with everything for a second. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. We'll do another countdown if we have to. I don't think we will, because everything is already counted down. We will do a countdown right now just to make sure. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So what I was saying is that we are going to take you back to memory lane, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things that's happening this year. The big pandemic, of course, started in March or something like that. I came out here in January. I came out here January 29th last year. Well, this year I should say, January 29th, 2020. I came out here, and it's going to be January 2020 once again. So I'm just going back in a loop here. I'll be out here for approximately a year. I came out here for my mom's birthday, and I got stuck in the quarantine, the big pandemic, and here I am. So your boy Tony from Cali, still the man on the streets, doing what I got to do, trying to stay warm, as you can see. And like I said, a very foggy morning. But one of the things that I want to talk about is that we're going to go back in history. I'm going to give you guys a quick bio, okay? Just bear with me, bear with everything. A quick bio on my life, how I got started in video, that type of thing. We're going to talk about that. Once again, that's why I got these cameras now. A lot of people say, well, why are you using these old retro cameras? Well, these are retro. They're retro. You guys know what retro is, right? They're retro. So retro meaning something old, but you're kind of bringing it back, kind of revamping it a little bit. And once again, we're doing an upgrade on this. So we got Bluetooth technology, Wi-Fi technology on this camera right now. And we're going to be putting a digital display on the side of it to show our call letters or any other information that we might want to advertise at the particular time. I don't plan on being out here a lot, advertising a lot, but I haven't been out here in a long time. So this is something that I'm just trying out for the first time in a while, and I like it. So the retro camera we're bringing back, once again, 1981, the year I graduated. I think I started doing video, to be honest with you, it was around 78. And I had a camera called Fune. It was a color video camera called Fune, and it ran off the it was a tube camera, and the Technicolor was the sponsoring company, I believe, behind that actually there was a separate recorder. This camera originally connects to a separate recorder as well. Camcorders weren't invented back then. I'm not gonna say they weren't invented, because Sony had just came out with the beta, not the Betacam. They came out with the Beta movie, and we're going to be getting one of those Beta movies in the next couple days, probably next week, more like next week. I did find one on eBay. I picked it up really cheap, so we're going to take one of those and we're going to do a little restoration to that Beta movie camera as well. Now, we're not going to be using all the full elements of the camera because, like I said, it's pretty outdated. The quality's pretty bad. On the Beta, let me tell you a little bit about this. I'm still doing some research on this. The Beta movie could only record. It could not play tapes back. You couldn't play it back on your TV unless you had a Beta movie or Betamax player. And that was the drawback to that. You could not rewind the movies inside of the camera. Now, that was the first camcorder, I think, that came out, and that was around 1981 as well. So these were the competing cameras that were competing with Beta movie. Okay, hopefully you guys can understand all that. I'm talking clear enough to let you guys know what's going on. Beta movie was I believe one of the first camcorders. I'm gonna say the first camcorder, but they were out there. Fune was, I think Fune was actually, no, Beta movie was, I think, the first camcorder. Fune was one of the first portable cartridge systems that they had, and it looked like the size of a cassette, and the format was CVC. Okay, it stands for cassette video. I forgot, but it was CVC. That was the format. So that was Fune. That was the first one I had, and I think it recorded in black and white. Okay. Now, some of these cameras, I think they're recording in black and white. They may not be color. I think this is color. This is RCA. And once again, we're bypassing the tubes, we're bypassing the electronics, and we're adding the high definition sensor on this camera. That's what we've actually done. We've taken the high definition sensor and we've added it to this camera rather than destroy all the electronics that's inside. We're kind of going around it. Okay. So this is a, I don't know what you want to call it. It's going to be like a hybrid system, because we can actually still shoot in the original resolution, which is about, I think it's about 220 to 320, 320p, 220p, somewhere around there. So it's really, really low resolution, and you probably wouldn't be getting the great image that you're getting right now. So we're shooting in high definition right now, and I got it set up for Vivid. I'm able to change my exposure. I'm able to do everything. I'm actually monitoring everything right now from my phone, which is great. Once again, I do have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity. I can pop into my earbuds. I got my earbuds that are on the camera as well, so I can actually hear what's going on if I wanted to monitor something. But once again, I'm your boy Tony from Cali. We out here, foggy morning. I just want to give you guys a brief history of what's going on. So what I've done is I've kind of been looking at a lot of old cameras and stuff. I'm still on a budget, still working on projects. This is just one of my projects, and still out here helping my mom. Once again, my mom is disabled, and my dad's disabled, you know, my stepdad. So I'm still trying to take care of them as well. I got to get back in there in a little bit and make sure they're okay. So I'm just out here right now, once again, just testing out the camera. One of the things I want to tell you about is that I'm going to be taking you guys back on memory lane, down memory lane. I'm going to be taking you down memory lane to look at my life and to look at the life of others as well, but to kind of give you a brief history of where I came from exactly and why I'm here. Because a lot of people don't know. They just say, hey, Tony, we know you lived in Vegas. We know you used to gamble. And that's the only thing a lot of people know. They know I used to have the scooters, and they know I used to have I used to be bro camping and broadcasting and, bro resting. They know about that, but they don't know where I originally came from. So we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane. The goal is to take you to, we're going to take you back to the house that I lived in on Maple Street, Maple and Fort. I lived in that house for 3395 Maple Street. That was the actual address. I lived in that house from the 70s to the mid 80s. I moved out there, and I moved out in 1981 to go to college. We're going to talk about that. So I moved out in 1981, and I went to DeVry Institute of Technology in Arizona after graduating from Grant Union High School, and also I attended American River. So I was there for a little bit, not too long. So I did go to American River too, American River College. Okay, so we're going to go back to that particular house, which is located not too far from here. We're probably looking at about a mile away from here. We're going to go to that house. We're going to film. I'm going to show you guys the house. I'm not going to give you a tour or anything. There's other people living there now, of course. So we'll give you an exterior view of the home, and we're going to do that in the next day or two. I think we're going to do it. I'm going to try to schedule it for Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Wednesday, because my Sony camera will be coming in. I got a Sony Trinicon, okay? A Sony, not a Trinitron. The TVs came out back in the day. They were Sony Trinitron. They were the top of the line TVs. It was, I could just give you a whole history on that. I used to love the Sony Trinitron TVs. They were very expensive too. Trinitron, Sony Trinitron, Mitsubishi, those were top of the line brands back in the day. Panasonic, Mitsubishi, Sony Trinitron. But this is Sony Trinicon. Listen to the way I say it. Trinicon, like con man. Trinicon. So Trinicon was the actual brand name that we're going to be picking. We're going to be getting in a couple days. I actually got it off of eBay. I got it really cheap. I got the camera for like 20 bucks, which is a great deal. So I got that camera for 20 bucks. I bought this one for $15 at the Goodwill thrift store, and the Trinitron will be here Tuesday, supposedly by the end of the day. So I'm probably looking at shooting Wednesday. We're going to have the Trinicon out here. We'll have the Trinicon. I'll probably have it on my shoulder, walking around with it. And then we're going to convert that Trinicon to high definition as well. And that's like I said, these cameras were designed to connect to a recorder, and they weren't designed to connect to, they didn't have camcorders back in 1981. The Trinicon is also from 1981. Okay? And that's the beauty of it. I was going back and I was trying to find cameras that were in that era, and this particular camera I actually had in 1981. The Trinicon I didn't have. I would have loved to have the Trinicon back in 81, but I think that camera was going for about $1,500, if I'm not mistaken. I got to double check. I think I was going for about $1,500. This camera was going for about $1,100. So this one was a lot cheaper. But this one did turn up somehow. I don't know how I got my hands on it, but I bought it from somewhere used or something, and I was so happy using this camera. And I was able to connect this camera to a recorder. I don't know whether it was Panasonic or it was RCA. Back then, it probably was RCA, and I did have a RCA top load machine with the big piano keys, and it would pop up, the tape would pop up. I did have one of those back in 1980, I'm thinking 83, about 83. I did get one of those in about 83, and that thing was like 1,500 bucks. It was actually more than that. I actually had an old roommate in college who actually sold me that unit, and it was very expensive. It was big and bulky, about that wide, and it had wood grain all the way around it. It had the big tuner knobs, and it was crazy with the big piano keys, and then the tape would pop up. So I did have that particular unit in about 1983, because I remember when going to college and then coming back home and bringing that unit back to Sacramento from Phoenix, Arizona, where I was going to college. DeVry Institute of Technology. Yeah, just to let you know, DeVry Institute of Technology. A lot of people are curious about my background. So we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be taking a stroll down memory lane, and I'm bringing out these vintage cameras to show you that they can still be used in 2020. A lot of people say, well, can a camera like this still be used in 2020? This camera has a lot of different you could use it in a lot of different ways. It is a shoulder camera, designed to put on your shoulder. You can see the grip right here, the handle grip and everything. It's got the extension microphone. I'm not going to pull it out right now because it kind of blocks the view. I think I'm going to reroute that microphone. I might reroute it a little bit because it blocks the view of the camera. But you got the extension microphone. You got all these different things on here, and it has a lot of capability. I just added one of those battery packs, you know, like a cellular battery pack. I just added one of those. It's a digital battery pack. I just added that, and then we're going to once again add a digital display and a couple other things. So once again, we're going to be going down memory lane. I'm your boy Tony from Cali, and I just want to tell you guys, I love going to take a stroll down memory lane. We're going to take you back to the Trinicon, the Sony Trinicon camera that came out in 1981. Sony Trinicon, not Trinitron, where the TVs were Trinitron. No, Trinicon. Trinicon was the actual camera. I did not own one of those Trinicon cameras. Like I said, they were very pricey back in 1981. In 1981, I was just getting out of high school. Didn't have the money to purchase one of those. We're probably looking at $1,500 to $2,000 for a Sony Trinicon. This is a HVC, I think HVC 2200. That was the model number, I believe. Look it up, check it out, the Sony Trinicon. We're going to be getting that camera tomorrow. Yeah, so I picked it up on eBay, 20 bucks. Okay, so I found it for 20 bucks. I picked it up. It's coming with the viewfinder, with the carrying case. It's not coming with the recorder. To have a recorder back in that day and to have a whole setup, you're probably looking at about $4 grand or more for a whole setup. So I'm doing this historical, going back in time to show you guys what the technology was like and what it costs. Just like technology can cost now, technology cost back then. But back then the quality was not high definition. I guess it was NTSC. Was it NTSC? I don't know. Standard definition, we're looking at maybe 200 lines versus 1080p, 1080. Okay, so big difference. And what we're going to do is we're bringing back some of the old vintage cameras. These are vintage cameras. This is the model number on this is the CC010. Okay, the CC010, and I remember that stands for anyway, I forgot what it stands for. I think it was it's basically like the tube number of the camera. Oh, my light just went out. Okay, so we're gonna sign off. And like I said, I just wanted to take you guys, we're going to take you down memory lane. We're going to show you what's going on. Very foggy day today. And once again, we're looking at about 36 degrees this morning. I'm your boy Tony from Cali, reporting live from over here on Taylor Street. We're on Taylor and near Jesse. And we're just having a good time. Mosaic Gardens, that's where we're at. We're at the Mosaic Gardens right now. And we're recording. And we're just having a real good time. My light just went out. But that's okay. I should have charged it up. And once again, this is a test, and it kind of tells me what I need to do when I come out here, because when I make videos sometimes, and when anyone makes videos, you got to prepare. You got to really prepare. The camera, you might only have so much time, recording time on the camera. You might only have so much battery time. You got to make sure you cover all your bases. And my goal is to go over to, we're going to be going back to my elementary school, which is Fairbanks Elementary. We're going to be going back to Las Palmas, which is my junior high school. We're going to be going over to Grand Union High School, which is my high school. And in between my summer school was Norte Del Rio. Now those names have changed, except for Grand High School. I think Fairbanks is still the same. Las Palmas has been changed to, I think, Martin Luther King or something. And Norte Del Rio, I'm not sure what they changed that to. So we're going to be going back to those schools. I'll be able to give you guys a kind of like in-depth how, you know, what I learned basically at each school besides elementary. Of course, you know what you learn in elementary, right? You learn the basics. So from junior high to high school to, you know, the different trades, I should say, that I picked up on in those schools. We're going to be talking about that and taking you guys down memory lane. And that way I can give you guys kind of a background on where I started, how I started, and that type of thing. So I'm your boy Tony from Cali. I love you guys once again. And for the people that don't know who I am, computer animation, three-dimensional holographic, digital, video, broadcast, special effects engineer, / senior audio visual telecommunications specialist, / broadcaster, not broadcaster, broadcaster, not broadcaster, of my reality show. Born in 1963. all in HD. HPTV stands for Helping People TV, Handicap Production, and many more productions. We are, once again, this is the vintage. We're going to call this Vintage Week. This is Vintage Week. So we're going to be going back. We're going to be looking at the technology from 1981 on up to where we are now. And I just want to say, in Vintage Week, I have 2 cameras that are going to be from 1981. I have another camera, a beta movie that's coming in next week. That's from 1984, and we're going to kind of take you up the ladder here and kind of show you how technology has progressed and advances and that type of thing. Because in 1981, in order to get a camcorder, I don't think it existed, to be honest with you, in 1981. The 1983. I remember, I think they came out with the first Betamax in 1983, and that was the 110, okay? That was the BMC, I believe, the BMC 110. And like I said, I've been doing a little research on that, and I'm just kind of winging it right now because I don't have all the exact facts, but I believe the BMC 110, from what I've seen, came out in 1983, and that was one of the first camcorders by Sony. That was the Betamax. Other companies may have produced a camcorder. I'm not sure yet. We're going to have to definitely check into that, but I know they started it. They started everything with the camcorder. Unfortunately, they did not have a camcorder that could rewind tape and playback tape in the camera. Now, that was pretty bad. And once, like I said, do your history and you'll find out that VHS eventually ended up taking over. VHS came out by, I'm trying to think what company brought VHS out. It might have been JVC, or Panasonic. I can't remember which company really took off with the VHS. But VHS took over because they were able to rewind, play back their tapes, and it just became more popular. And the heads were smaller on the Sony beta movies, so you couldn't do all those things that you wanted to do. And that was one of the things that the actual main head was a lot smaller, the recording head. So we'll get into detail a little bit more about that later. But once again, I'm your boy Tony Ficali, enjoying the foggy morning. Once again, 36 degrees. We're going to get out of here. I love you guys. Peace and love. And just hang in there. And once again, high definition. This is what we're recording in right now. I got 2 camera angles. So as you can see, we'll be switching back and forth in the timeline. But I just wanted to say, I love you guys out there. Peace and love. And once again, you know what? Hit me up on my merch. I'm not wearing any merch this morning, but hit me up on my merch. Once again, we got merchandise that we got available. We got t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got coffee cups. And you guys know the slogans already. Trump lost, but Jesus is the boss. 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 You guys know that slogan. The other slogan, I just graduated from the big pandemic. I just graduated from QPU. The Quarantine Pandemic University. That's what that stands for. Quarantine Pandemic University. I just graduated, which means you're out, you're doing things. You just graduated, you know. And I guess, you know, everybody's going to graduate pretty soon. Hopefully, if everything goes back to normal, we'll have to see. The other slogan, once again, of course, my main slogan, my logo, my everything, broadcasting like a pro. I got that on my camera here, on my little camera bag. It says broadcasting like a pro. Broadcasting like a pro. If you want to be a broadcaster, not a blogger. I'm not a vlogger. I never was a vlogger. I've always been a broadcaster. We didn't use that name back then, but that's what I started using years ago. So I am a broadcaster. A broadcaster is a broadcaster on a budget. Everyone out there is a broadcaster, whether they know it or not. You're a broadcaster right now. And if you're on a budget, if you're just using your cell phone or an action camera or a camcorder or whatever you're using, one of these vintage cameras from 1981, you're still a broadcaster. Remember that. So if you want to support your boy, get your broadcasting like a pro. Broadcasting like a pro. Get your merchandise, okay? I'm going to sign off. I got to get back in here and check on moms, check on dad, make sure they're good, get some breakfast. Once again, a very foggy morning, beautiful day today. We're looking at December the 21st, 2020. I'm your boy Tony Ficali, reporting live, and we're out.